From Chris, I'm with ABA. The Coalition weapons are awesome. Where's the flip and stick? And are you going to add more models? Wow, the Coalition weapon was basically the brainchild of ABA, which is Army Bass Anglers. And, you know, we're happy to work with them. It's a camo rod. This is the new Coalition weapon. We made this in conjunction with ABA. It's a digital camo pattern. It is not tape. It is paint. And we're doing very well. We do have them available. They retail at $199. Our dealers have them in stock, or they are available to our dealers now. Just kind of a different looking rod, and it's pretty cool with camo. You know, I've seen a lot of these funny colored rods, from oranges and yellows and lime greens to pinks to everything else. I kind of like the camo. This question is from Tyler. My partner breaks 5 to 6 rods a year. I break one about every 5 years. In our club meeting this year, that was a major topic. It seemed that some guys never break rods and others break 4 or 5 a year. I told them if they were using all Dobyns rods that they wouldn't be breaking any, with the big smiley face. I love this guy. I think I better send him a rod, actually. Please explain why and how most failures happen. Well, most failures happen with guys high sticking. You know, what is high sticking? Basically, it's having the rod up in the air and loading the tip straight down. That's what we call high sticking. It's overloading the tip of the rod. The rods are meant to bend as hard as you want this way, but they're not really meant for that tip to be pulling straight down. You know, they're really not meant to be doing this, but fishermen do it all the time, especially if they have a fish in their hand and it flops out of their hand and it overloads the tip, and that creates a lot of breakage. The other thing is you know, we step on rods. I mean, they're on the front deck of our boat, we step on them, and it may not break right then, but you damage the rod. I mean, that's a deal with breakage. I think more often than not is the anglers are using the wrong rod. I mean, I see it all the time. I mean, guys are sitting there flipping. I mean, I actually talked to a staffer today that told me he busted one of my 704 rods. I said, what was you doing? He goes, I was flipping with it. I said, flipping with a 704? It's a 7-foot 4-power. I mean, get a flipping stick in your hand. The biggest problem I think most of the manufacturers have is guys high sticking and not using the proper rod for that technique. Case in point, the Alabama rig. I've seen so many guys that are using too light a rod. You know, the 795, you know, my 795 MLSB sold out in one day when that big Alabama craze hit. It's a perfect rod for throwing an Alabama rig. We throw an 806 HSB and we throw a 795 MLSB, which is a micro-long swim bait model with a 13-inch handle. It gives you the handle for some leverage where you can really cast and throw that bait a long ways. So just use the right rod and don't high stick, and your rod breakage is going to go down 90+% right there. Proper rod, no high sticking. From Jim, you know, what's your best jerkbait rod, and is it glass or graphite? You know, it's going to depend on the jerk bait, you know, the bait you're throwing. Like a Stacy 90, my best jerkbait rod I think is a 704 CB. Mod fast action, it is a graphite construction, but I do make a glass rod that's very popular with jerkbaits too, in both a 4 and a 5. Actually, I make 2 5s in glass. I make one I call a mod fast that is for the old school glass guys that really want to see it bend way back towards the handle. It's really a soft rod. We sell a ton of them, but for the old school glass guys, me personally, I like graphite, and I throw the 704 CB. I throw the 705 if I'm going to get into like 128 pointers, you know, or like Mag 18s, the old Mag 18 Rapala. The bigger baits, I'll go to a 5, but most generally day in and day out, 704 CB graphite. Next question is from Adam. When will your micro series be available, and how much do they cost? Micro series are available now. We got a limited shipment in. I have a bunch more actually on the water right now. We're in good shape on our micro rods. They're selling very well. Price point is exactly the same as our other Savvy line at $149 to $169. So check with your local dealer on the Savvy micros. And if they don't have one, we will, as a company, always drop ship for our dealers. So if your dealer doesn't have one of our rods, all you have to do is tell them. They will order it. You pay them, they'll order it, and I will drop ship it to your door.